Well, welcome everybody to Generation Dan, the only podcast that has dreams but no more cartilage. I am Atlas Novak. I'm your millennial. Who else is here with me?
I'm Tina the Genetic Marlowe, and I feel personally attacked. Yes.
That's my favorite thing to say to my kids, where they're like, "Mister, how do I know if blank or just like something that's kind of naive for me to say?" I'm like, "You're still full of cartilage and dreams. You're fine." Like,
Yeah, and this is the thing: is you should always have dreams. Let's just start there. But cartilage, yeah, that just slowly. I like so you just so you understand. Every time I bend my knees, they crack. Now, since I've lost weight and started fasting and taking care of my health and doing all that kind of stuff, they crack only like 60% of the time. It's pretty good. Yeah, I'm like it's a thing. So, but yeah, today we're talking about getting old. Yeah.
Well, just to add on top of that, like the pinched nerve has turned into my like scapula area. When I do this, it like cracks like a guitar, like it's tense like a guitar string. And every time you do that, you're
you're at a weird age where if you start stretching daily,
Yeah.
follow me here. If you start stretching 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes before bed every day, your life is you're going to prolong what I'm experiencing in my 40s. But it sucks. It's very hard. I'm finding, because I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to stay out of my comfort zone in general on multiple levels, because your comfort zone is a lazy bastard. This is the analogy I gave to somebody, was that if you, and this is a very nerdy analogy, but it does work, is that if you've watched Star Trek, Star Trek? Yes?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a normal thing that people watch. So your body is the ship, okay? It's built, it needs maintenance, things break down, they get fixed, it's a whole thing, okay? The computer is actually your brain, okay? So the computer has prearranged order of things and just kind of autonomously runs everything. And you can ask it questions, say, hey, how do we feel about this? And it'll respond, okay? But the computer will only do what it must do with the intent of, well, I want to be safe, right? That's where your lizard brain, well, I do things to be safe, right? I sleep in a hole covered up to be safe. I keep warm to be safe. I don't go outside my house because outside isn't safe, okay? You, the actual you, is the captain, okay? The captain has to tell the computer to drive the ship to a certain place. Otherwise, the computer will just go around in circles saying, well, we're safe here. We're good. We were meant for flying. We're flying. We're safe. All the things and all the maintenance is being taken care of. We're good. Whereas the captain is the one who decides to progress and explore and do things. This is the big difference that people don't understand. And because that's the problem, is people go, oh, well, my brain just makes the decisions. You're like, your brain is, number one, not your friend. Number two, also an asshole, almost consistently. Okay, because it says, hey, why don't we just go to sleep? Why would you stretch it before bed? Just go to bed. You're gonna sleep. You'll feel great in the morning. No, you won't.
I went to physical therapy finally, and the guy was like, wow, so the symptoms you described in your initial like report and here, they've gotten a lot better. I'm like, yeah, because it was 2.5 weeks between seeing one or the other. You could have given me an earlier appointment time. And he's like, here's some stretches you can do. You probably don't need to see me again, but if it gets worse, come back. The referral's good for a year. What is this about? We're talking about when you get specifically slapped with your age, and I can keep going with this. So, during the small talk of like they're checking you out, they're like looking for symptoms. The guy goes, "What do you do?" "I'm a teacher." "Where do you teach?" "Name of high school that I teach at." I my volleyball team in high school played them. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. When did you graduate? 2017. I graduated college in 2017. Fuck!
Oh my God.
More doctors are younger than me. Shit.
Yeah. I hope you get a good kid. Don't give up. Oh, thanks, Cole. And Sammy says, huh? We're talking about getting older, and when it smacks you in the face, it's not nice, bro. Yeah, that is
First time.
it hurts. Yeah.
Now, admittedly, he was a resident, which means like you get out of med school, you
Still,
have 1 year of
yeah.
internship and 1 year of residency, and then things happen after that. So, he was like, so based on the math, he would have been, let's see,
10 years younger than you.
about, yeah. So he's about like 22 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that
He probably
and
took AP
realistically-
classes and stuff because it means he would have graduated college early, then med school, then internship, then residency.
Yeah. Which, it's very weird when you and especially like this is the one thing too is you and I are at a point where we can't suddenly like we have options as we're getting older, right? You have more options than I do, but I can't sit there going, you know what? I'm looking down the barrel end of 50. I want to become a doctor. That's not going to happen. Okay, that's not. I could learn about medicine. I can do that, but nobody's going to trust me with a scalpel. That's not.
No,
that's not how
that is not a Renaissance man thing to do to become a doctor.
You.
You can become a chiropractor or some other kook medicine, but
I could become a masseuse or a personal trainer. Those are still options. Doctor,
yes,
not so much. You know, it's one of those weird things where you kind of there are certain things that just aren't optional anymore, like stretching, very much so.
Yeah. So what he wants me to do is, you know, I got like one of those cervical neck pillows, but he wants me to stretch my neck to fix tech neck, which is like you're looking down at your phone all day.
Yeah.
Or in the case of my job, I am looking down at students at desks all day just because of like I am taller than that. So he's like, hang off the side of the bed with your head like against the mattress, the side of the mattress, and like for 5 minutes a day. Which is weird, but
so okay, just so you know, okay. While yes, that is a very viable option to correct that posture, right? What you want to do is you also want to start exercising your eyes, okay?
Yeah.
So is that you stay up and you just look down instead of right and just be like, yeah, I'm okay, and you can look down and you're okay.
Damn it.
Now. The reason being is because if you lay off your bed with your head backwards to correct tech neck, okay, that's also how ladies provide some joy to their husbands, sir. So don't just think about it. Just think about it. It's like his advice wasn't wrong, but I think that guy might be a piece of shit. Just an FYI.
I don't think he means forever. I just think he means until like this stops being the thing. But
yes, but you may be molested by a ghost. I'm just letting you know.
Noted. I will.
Don't do that.
I will make a point not to become a spectral cuck chair. Thank you.
Good.
Possible title for the episode. Yeah.
Bro, that he's not wrong. He's just there are other ways to do that. Because I'll be honest with you, is that like so I'm a big back before big backs were big backs. Okay. And when I start gaining weight, it loads onto my back first. So my back just thickens like a ankylosaurus
hide. Yeah.
I have a thick,
like a dinosaur.
Yes, like a dinosaur, like specifically like an ankylosaurus. I have an armor on my back. I am protected, but
that's the one with the like club tail, right? Where they whack the other dinosaurs.
He's my favorite.
Yeah. He's cool.
Lego. I think Lego just released an ankylosaurus, and I kind of want to get it, but I have if I look this way, I'm looking at like 40 Lego sets that I need to build still, so I can't buy it. And that's the small pile. There's a big pile that has Barad-dûr, and that's a lot more work. But yeah, it's one of those things. This is the hard part, is that I'm not sure if you remember this, okay? Maybe you've never experienced this either. There was a certain time when the internet started, and was still under extreme criticism from those who were smart, okay, thinking, oh, it's a fad, it's not gonna catch on. You're like, my friend, I have the universe at my behest by having a cell phone, and there are smart, quote, smart people who are older who would give you advice, and you're going, oh, that's interesting, and then you look it up and going, oh, you're retarded, that's not how that works. Now this is the thing, is that it's like doctors will graduate having learned how to be a doctor, and almost half of what they've learned has now become obsolete because there's a new, better way or technology or whatever. And that is that's very difficult as a doctor, because you're like, and look, as a teacher, like I have mixed feelings on education, right? Because my opinion is, as a teacher, you should be on the forefront of education. You should be the newest things, and you should be in there, and like you have two jobs, is being in the front of everything, like learning everything right away and sharing knowledge. That's why it sucks.
I think the difference, though, is where, the cutting edge of medicine is done in labs and in clinical trials and things that have peer reviewedness. The cutting edge of education is usually somebody who couldn't hack it in the classroom, hasn't been in it since 1985, and is just kind of making this shit up off of vibes, or it's a tech company. And 9 times out of 10, it's either nothing or actively damaging. This is based off of advice from hanging out with the old heads, and also us getting rid of phonics education, which was fucking stupid, and all that stuff. And the fact that we're bringing back phonics education because it works to teach reading.
What just so everyone understands, what's phonics education? Because that's something that I have no idea. Like, I know what phonics is.
Yeah, so
it's based on phonetically
a lot, but it's basically to sound out a word, to learn to read, as opposed to it's like Big Idea, or I forget the name for it, but it's basically when you read a word and you're like, I wonder what the next word is going to be. Let me look at a picture that's near it or try and guess from the context. It's basically trying to turn learning into an algorithm. Tell me the last time autocorrect on your phone was accurate. Like that. That's really and by the time they get to me in 10th and 12th grade, I have things like, okay, so based on the context of what's going on, what do you think is going to happen next? And they're like, and they just start guessing. They don't read the words that are there and try to be based off of what I just saw, maybe this will happen. They're not doing an educated guess. They're just guessing like an algorithm.
So what you're saying is that they were trying to teach people how to critically think, but via magic, as opposed to actually learning.
Yes, you need to teach people how to read, read before they can critically think. And all of the kids I have now, actually, I'm part of this generation too, because it started in 2005. The people
I've ever heard.
Yeah. And they're just I don't know, fucking figure it out or whatever. And it's you have to teach them to read first. And then around 3rd, 4th grade, then you start doing reading to learn, not learning to read.
So hilariously, I'm not sure if we had this conversation or if I had it with Marco. I'm not sure. But we were saying how when you learn math, you start, I think it was with Marco, it was on a show. You start with numbers, okay? Positive, 0, negative numbers, okay? Then you're going to go into addition and subtraction. You learn that. Then multiplication and dividing, okay? Now you're going to get into shapes and degrees and how to identify things, right? Right? You get geometry. Then you're going to get it into things like finite and understanding how probabilities work and stuff like that. Then you're going to go into calculus and algebra geometry, and it gets more things. But you've stacked the process from the beginning to the end, right? And the end, we don't know the limit because mathematics is everything, right? Shout out to Fibonacci. That's fine. So the whole point is, but that's the thing is we don't know how far it goes, right?
Mhm.
But that's the journey. You start at a point. Now the problem is that people, with the purpose of the internet or the creation of the internet, have been like, oh, we can skip a few steps. No, you can't. No, you can't. Every time. And this is a thing that I learned from a financial advisor back when I was still an associate. This is decades ago. And he had a client in his office, and he liked to do certain things for his clients, and we would just do them for it instead of asking his associate. I wasn't his associate. I was the associate of the other advisors, but me and him got along well because we would smoke together and we would hang out and have coffee. And
Like
yeah, and we'd talk philosophy and stuff. And he was a Persian man, so me and him had a lot of history in that, like Greeks, Persians, we all
no hard
fought.
feelings. Sorry about that whole Peloponnesian War thing. We're pals now. Yeah.
Well, so he lost. I'm fine with it. I'm like, hey, just so you know, you lost. It's okay. And he's like, we did. It's fine.
Yeah.
But he said, he goes,
I just love that idea of like, King Xerxes did not have the foresight to see hundreds of years later that like his subjects' descendants were just chilling with the other side. Somewhere in the Great Xerxes is like, you fucking bastards, we fought for this.
The funny thing was, at the time I was kicking around like 350 pounds, and this gentleman was maybe 5'5" and like 110. Like he was a small little man. And I'm like, the big Greek just sitting here and we will talk about philosophy, my friend. It's the craziest thing that ever happened. But I digress. He explained, he goes, whenever you try and rush things, whatever it is, it's going to mess up. You're going to miss something important. And that's, it takes the time it's going to take regardless.
Yeah.
And it's this weird concept where, good, I'm in a hurry, then you should have left earlier. Like the idea, like I used to take transit to work, and I would see people run from the bus to the train, down the stairs, and you're like, you should have just left earlier. I'm late. It's not a, like, I am also a person who, I like to be early to things. I am notoriously late for work because I'm like, I don't care about this. This is your problem. You hired me. You're stupid.
Yeah. I don't know how it is in Toronto, but at least in LA, the like time between buses and trains can be a while. So like if there is a connection, you're like, I gotta fucking make it. So you're like booking it between one train and the next. But
so the key to this is, if you leave early, you can if you do it properly, okay? And this is also if you're running on normal busy times, so like in the morning, end of work day, like those times. If you have an odd schedule, it might not work, but is if you leave early enough, and that early enough, I mean an extra 15 minutes early, okay? You can miss up to 2 connections and you'll still be fine.
Yeah, like
it's yeah. Go ahead.
At my old school, I had to wake up at 4 a.m. to get there because I went from a bus to a train to a train to a bus to get there by like 8. And it's because, again, the connections. Like I would go from the bus to the North Hollywood station, and then you're waiting for 10 minutes, and then you get on the train, and the train's going good speed, and then you get to the A line. And I had to travel almost the entire length of the A line, which is one of the longest subway lines in the country, to go from like the 7th Street Metro Center, which is like the big, like all the trains congregate there, to like Southgate, which is really, really far. And then there was one day where I was on it, and then we got to a stop, and then the train started going backwards, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And they're like, "Yeah, there was a thing on the track. Sorry." So I had to jump out and get on a different train, and like, I still got there in time, but it was same idea where I would like you plan for fuck ups in the
constantly, and this is like you don't. I remember there was where the one subway stop was kind of in this valley, and all the buses that left from that subway hub all had to go uphill. So they were all stuck, all of them. And I'm like, so I get off my thing and they're like, all the trains are stopping. I'm like, okay, just wait. And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go get McDonald's. And they're like, there's no McDonald's here. I'm like, there's an entire food court above this. And they're like, no way. I'm like, yeah, there is. It's not. So I just went, I had a bite to eat. Then I came back down and now everyone was gone. I jumped on the train and off I went. No big deal. It was, and like, but that's the thing is where you're going. So if you had to wake up at 4 and you have a commute, I just heard Victoria got home. I'm very happy right now.
Hooray!
My entire anxiety level is calmed down. She might have come for her phone. I don't know. But yeah, so the idea was that I can use that time. Like I would take transit and I would read my textbooks for courses I needed to take.
There you go. Yeah, stuff. Like that's the upside of taking public transit. You can just do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, yeah. And also too, like I would do this where I'm like, I would have my book instead of in my bag, I would have it in my shirt, like in my jacket. So I'm sitting there and it looks weird. And all of a sudden I would put like a textbook that's like 12 by 16 and I pull it out and I just start highlighting stuff and reading and people are like, what are you studying? I'm like, wealth management essentials. They're like, huh? I'm like, yeah. It's a thing. It's fine.
It makes you wonder, like, if you're on public transit, if like the way people judge you based on your generation, right? At least in LA, they recently started having, for lack of a better term, I'm calling them metro cops, but they're not policemen. They're just kind of there in the like reflective vests, and they just kind of hang out. They don't have tasers. They don't have a gun. They're just there. And I think
they're like fancy security guards.
Kind of, yeah. And like it really does cut down on the riffraff, but I've definitely gotten weird looks, like, because I do like to read on the train like you do. So like right now I'm reading People's History of the United States. And then one time, like, a guy walks by, he goes, I had to read that in high school. And he keeps walking. And I'm like, okay.
That's when you just look at him and go, I'm a high school teacher. There you go. That's a full circle of life right there. But that's like, I was actually quite fortunate when one of the places that I lived, I had to I lived in a shitty building on a street that had houses with Lamborghinis and Ferraris. Okay, it was a weird thing. It was like one little street that went off, and it had all these buildings, but the bus would stop literally right in front of my condo, my apartment, so I could see it. Like if it was coming, I would have time to run down the stairs and get to it. Okay. That being said, we would go, and it would pick up all these fancy people, like people in like with briefcases and business to attend to. Thank you for the laundry. Hey, you left your phone, right? Okay, it's on the couch.
I love you.
So yeah, but like I would read books and people would be reading newspapers and stuff. Like it was how transit was intended to be. Not even quiet, but it wasn't there were no students on it. In that area there were schools and they had separate, but like they had school buses, whereas a lot of buses will just use transit. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Because students are pieces of shit. Let's just be very clear, okay?
It depends. I mean, like when I was in Japan, a big part of the Tokyo.
Japan students are not what we're talking about. We're talking about North America, sir.
I'm saying that, like, for on the train in Tokyo, there's signs being like, everybody shut the fuck up, basically.
Yeah.
And even kids, like I'm seeing 5-year-olds come out. It's like little ducks, like the group of kindergartners. They have the little hat on and the blue shirt, and they come on in like groups of like 7 or 8, and they're quiet. They're just sitting next to each other. They kind of turn and talk to each other, but like it's still quiet. And because of the culture of Japan here in North America, when I see like kids on the train, I do not see little kids unless it's like the one kid with their parent. And it's always like I'm a teenager going from here to here, and like there just isn't as much of a like culture of writership, and that's also why the like car culture thing in the US is such a big deal. Like we try and like you put independence on when you turn 16, and you very much do not have to be 16 to ride the train. They even have, at least in LA, they have free tap cards if you're a high school student, which is awesome.
Wow. See, that's the problem, is because you guys don't have a culture of that. You have more of a violence culture. That's like it's it's the idea where okay, just to put into example. So yesterday I went and I because I'm visiting some friends, not friends, family today, but it's all young people. So I'm like, I went and picked up some joints. I smoked a joint last night for Valentine's Day. It was great. And while I'm in line, okay, so now this is not the place I like to go to, but it's very convenient. It's just in the mall that's kitty corner to my corner. I say that like I'm a prostitute. I'm not a prostitute. That's fine. So the thing is, it's kind of a not that nice of an establishment. Like it's nice, but it's not like the riffraff go there, right? Because it's also a cheaper place, so it's fine. So I'm standing there. It's mostly black people, okay, but I don't have an issue with that. That's fine. But there's a person. Good afternoon, Victoria. There's a person standing in front of me who's a black gentleman. He's got paint on his legs. I'm assuming he's coming home from work. No problem. Then the person in front of him who so I'm behind him in line and he's behind a woman, and the woman, he's 5 feet away from her. And I'm like, that's odd. And then she starts acting erratically like a crackhead. And he looks at me and he's like, I don't think they have what she needs here. And both of us start laughing. And then essentially it just keeps on piling on because both of us are looking at each other, trying to make each other stop laughing so much, because it's very uncomfortable. And like it's where like it's the news story where you're like, so a person started acting erratically, pulled out a knife and stabbed 4 people. Like that's exactly. And we're like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay 5 feet back. I'm just gonna stay away. That's fine. It was very weird. And both me and him were dying of laughter because it was so ridiculous, right? But that's the thing, is we're both different demographics, just completely different demographics. Okay. But both of us were like, oh, this is not a safe situation. We're going to just back away. One guy tried to go ahead of us in line, saw what was happening, goes, oh, now I get it, and went back behind us as well. Because he's like, oh yeah, no. Yeah. You just stay 5 feet away. That's fine. Yeah. Hey man,
I whatever happened. He's like he's like, I'm gonna do a cutsies and fucking nope, I'm out of here.
100%. But that's the thing, is like in that environment, we all know why we're at I've joked with the guys who own this place, and I saw the guy again about how like I never thought I would have gone from I probably smoked oregano a couple times in high school to I pay taxes on my weed purchases. It's weird. It's a very weird, and, you know,
there is something to be said about like how different generations viewed weed. Like,
yes,
to my parents, boomers and my in-laws who are like early mid Gen X, where they did the like, okay, I smoked oregano in the 70s or whatever, and and then like once we got to like the yuppie movement in the 80s, and they started having kids in the 90s and the 2000s. By the time I was a kid and the DARE program was like fully in swing, they were like, weed is evil. And then now here we are 20 years later, and they're like, oh, it's legal, I'm gonna do it now. Like they viewed doing the drug with legality, which leads me to believe, like, I wonder what other, like, would they do acid if it was legal? Mushrooms are like in that weird semi-legal area in California too. So
your rules are very similar to ours in that it's kind of a gray area, and Yeah. It's so, but it's that where you're going. It's as long as you're not causing a nuisance, nobody cares. But as soon as you cause a nuisance, you're fucked, right?
Yeah.
So, I took some mushrooms. I stayed home and enjoyed my day. Nobody cares. I took some mushrooms. I took off all my clothes, and then I started walking down the street. Everyone cares.
Yeah, I ended up jacking it in San Diego. No,
that is a great shirt, by the way. I ended up jacking it in San Diego. This guy like, hey.
I love the song that they did in South Park.
I have no idea what song you're talking about. Okay.
So for people, for the Zoomers in the crowd, the guy who did this video about a dictator named Kony in Africa in 2012, he makes this documentary. It goes viral on the internet, and then 2 years later, something like that, he is naked and delirious in the streets of San Diego. So jacking it in San Diego, as people say. And South Park ended up parodying that because they do an episode where Stan tries to make an anti-bullying video that goes viral, and then at the end he's like, I know exactly what I'm going to do, and they have a song called Jackin' It in San Diego. And he takes a plane, and then he just takes his clothes off and starts dancing.
I did not know that happened to Kony. Please do. Please. This is what happens when we talk about stuff.
The guy who did I want to say Sandusky, but that's not it.
I don't know. No, I don't know Sandusky. This is what happens when you associate with not your age group. Is they tell you about stuff and you're like, why did I not hear about this? And they're like, I'll send it to you right away. Speaking
all the time, right? It's not. Jacking It in San Diego didn't stick around in the lexicon. It's not like the word cool where it's going to stay forever.
Yes.
It was very of its time, and then it disappeared.
Okay, but Jacking It in San Diego is fucking hilarious. And let's be honest, I just want to go to San Diego just so I could be like, hey guys, just jacking it in San Diego, boom, and just walk away. That's it. A
friend of mine is San Diego. He does not like it when I say jacking it in San Diego.
Yeah, because he's like, no, this is my place. Only I get to say it because I'm jacking it in San Diego. You're just visiting. You're just walking by and just giving a couple. That's fine.
Yeah. You mean jacking it? No.
This is jacking it now.
And for people saying is he doing the gross thing? He wasn't. He was just kind of delirious. He seemed very dehydrated. A lot of people said so. He was he's so either dehydrated or on some kind of drug or something. He just kind of took his clothes off and was just kind of walking around. He wasn't doing that.
Which, listen, sometimes it gets hot. I understand it, but still, that's why you have a backyard. Sure. That's the other funny thing is that you as soon as you become a nuisance, everyone has an opinion, right? But if you do weird shit at home, that's what your home is for. That's fine.
As long as you're not hurting anybody. Yeah, and I keep having to tell my students this. If you break the rules within the lines, no one cares. If you need to be out of the classroom, you just need a break, and you ask for the bathroom pass and you leave and take a walk and come back after 7 minutes, I'm not going to give a shit. I have no way of telling that you didn't go to the restroom. I don't care. The next person who needs to use the bathroom can use the bathroom. Hooray. If you take the bathroom pass and disappear for 25 minutes, then I got to do something. If you take the bathroom pass and are caught doing something stupid, then I got to do something, right? Or the same thing with the phones, right? You got to put your phone in the magnet pouch. If you don't put it in the pouch and it's just in your backpack all day and I never see it, great. That's that's all you got to do. But if you don't do that and then you pull it out during class, then I got to take the phone. It's not that hard to figure out. You can break the rules while not getting caught and not hurting anybody, but just don't be stupid about it, please.
Hey, I remember when I was at when I worked, they were like, you can't have your cell phone out. I'm like, that's a stupid rule. And they're like, well, we have confidential information. I'm like, you should be hiring people who know and are trustworthy enough not to reveal confidential information or take pictures of confidential information. And they're like, well, yeah, but. And I'm like, no, there's no but. You're stupid. You're stupid and you're hiring stupid people. That's how that works. And And
Yeah,
and
or
that
just
was my
like
first.
don't have them in the building. Like that just seems like an easy. Okay, I'm going out for a smoke break. I'm going to be on my phone. What's the problem with that, right?
Well, this was the thing was I'm like, yeah, that's you should hire better people. They're like, well, some people don't understand. I'm like, you're gonna tell me that people don't understand that, hey, I shouldn't be taking pictures of private confidential information? You're gonna tell me that that's a thing you have to address at a bank? No, that's stupid. So the whole rule was you can't have your cell phone up. And then one day I come to work and I'm like, hey, I have a family situation going on. I need access to my cell phone and I may need to go offline. Okay. And they were like, oh, well, I'm not sure. I'm like, hey, that wasn't a question. Just to be very clear, my phone is going to be out and I may have to take call and drop calls. This is a family situation that's going to just, hey, I'm letting you know that's what's happening. And sure as fuck, another manager goes, hey, you're not supposed to have your hand out. And he went to grab my phone. I grabbed his hand. I said, are you my manager? And he goes, no. I go, are you even at my level? And he was like, well, I'm not sure. I'm like, you're not. So move your hand and go talk to my manager before you touch anything, because then we're going to have words. And he was like, I don't know why you're being so aggressive. I'm like, hey, I can be more aggressive if you want to continue this conversation happily. And he was like, wait, are you a psychopath? And I'm like, you want to test it? Because I'm like, and it was, I think my dad was in the hospital or something. Mm-hmm. And it was like the next day I was off and I was like, oh no, I'm taking leave. I'm not. And they were just like, oh, well, wait. I'm like, bro, I'll break your bones. Like my dad had a heart attack. I got a phone call. Hey, dad had a heart attack. We're going to the hospital right now. I was like, okay. I walked over to the manager. I go, hey, my dad just had a heart attack. She's like, hey, see you later. I said, thanks. And I walked away. Hey, because I'm like, people who actually know just go, okay, yeah, you're gone. No, just go. See you later. I'm like, that's not a debate. Someone goes, oh, well, I'm not sure you can leave. Oh, I wasn't asking. I thought that was very clear. And but I'm like, you can't, that's the exception. But if I'm just like, I'm not feeling well, so I'm going to leave. No, get fucked. You can't do that. That's not how that works. Right. It's always one of those things that people don't understand, how you're like, hey, this is a job. Like, look, educating students to understand that being at school is your job. That's it. That's your job. Hey, and it's volunteer work. Sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah. And there's like,
that's it.
There's this creator on TikTok who I'm trying to get on the show because she's a millennial and she gets in arguments with mostly Zoomers about like your role as a worker and like, yes, the job market sucks. Yes, work culture sucks, but also you are hired for a job. Your contract is a thing that you sign that, lays out your duties pretty clear. And if, if your manager breaks that, yes, do something about it, right? People should be unionized. Great. But you can't just like go to work in pajamas. And like, she gets a lot of like blowback from it because, TikTok is mostly Zoomers. Duh. But
I have a question. Hold on. I have a question. Is she's telling people that, hey, you have to have a work ethic because you're paid to do this job. You can't be a piece of shit. That's what she's saying, right?
Yes. And like you can have a work ethic and still be anti-work. Hello. But yeah.
Hello. This is the entire existence. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, where like you can actively despise some things about your job or try and get around it in some way. But if you that's a risk that you run. And again, it's the same thing with the phones and stuff, where if you like don't do it in a way that's like flagrantly stupid. The same way that when you're applying to jobs and if you fake stuff on your resume, have some sort of way to either back that up or something they can never check up on, right? Like if I put Toys R Us as work experience, they have no way to check up on that because I was in working age when Toys R Us closed. If a Zoomer puts Circuit City, then they're going to have a problem because Circuit City closed like 10 years ago, right?
True.
Yeah.
You could say you were top 10.
Yeah, I am hoping we get her on the show. I'm like, we'll see.
Shout out to one of our previous guests. I don't remember her name, but she's the does a lot of anti or child free content, and she's on my Yeah, she's hilarious. So some of the stories
Yeah,
she's saying right now, oh my god, they're so funny because it's like, yeah, that's like, so she just did one where it was a child-free wedding. People brought their children. Those children proceeded to fuck up a ton of shit. So she's like, okay, yeah, you owe me that money. That's how that works. And the lady's like, well, kids will be kids, and you're going,
yes, but kids
no,
weren't supposed to be here.
Yeah. And like also too, like I remember going to weddings and stuff, and my parents like, don't break shit. Okay. If you break shit, we'll break you. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. And most often kids would end up in a hallway, like around the corner from everything, playing with balloons and stuff and just doing random shit. But
you're fine. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, it was, they ran through the banquet hall and like pulled down tables. I'm like, I've seen kids do that, and I'm sitting there eating my food going, is no one going to beat him? Like, do I need to beat him? I don't understand what's happening. And parents like, they're just bad parents. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, all right. It's like, it's a wild thing where you would see that, right?
And
like it's the same. Sorry, go ahead.
The equivalent of, somebody saying, okay, here's the child-free wedding, and then they go, kids will be kids. Like, yes, kids will be kids, but they weren't supposed to be here at my child-free wedding.
So my wedding, I invited people who had kids, and I'm like, yeah, your kids more than welcome. I would actually put it on the.
Like that too. We had kids at our wedding too. Yeah.
So the hilarious part was a couple people were like, oh no, your wedding's gonna be a banger. We're not bringing the kid. And I'm like, why? They're like, oh, because we want to have fun. I'm like, that's fine too. And it was this whole thing where a couple people brought their kids, and kids, so because we had movies going on all night long.
Yeah.
So a couple times we had little kids who were sitting kind of adjacent to the dance floor, like with watching the teenagers, like, oh, because I'm like, we can't have the sound going, but have the subtitles going because also Asians. So I'm like, everyone was just, and even when they were like, oh, when you're doing your speech, we'll take off the movie. I'm like, no, I'm not saying anything important. Keep the movie going. And they're like, for real? I'm like, nobody's listening to me. It's a good movie because we had like Lego Movie, Batman, and I forget what the other movie was.
Lego Batman.
Oh. No. It was the Lego Movie. Then we had something else. And then the end of the night was Return of the Dark Knight, which was, I still have somewhere floating around here, which was just even to the point where everyone kind of left and it was just like close friends just drinking and the staff cleaning up. And I was like, hey, can we turn off the music and turn off the movie? They're like, yep, click. And now everyone is doing work, just watching, going, hey, this is a fucking awesome movie. I'm like, bro, this is an awesome movie. And everyone's just kind of just chilling, going, this is fucking great. I'm like, bro, this is the best. Like, I've been to so many weddings where I'm like, hey, I did exactly what we wanted, and it worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
And it was on a Tuesday.
At our wedding, where I'm marrying a kindergarten teacher, it's kind of like she was like, okay, bring the kids, and some of the best pictures from that wedding are my nephew who was like a year and a half at the time, where he's wearing his mom's fanny pack that had like all the diaper bag stuff in it on him, and it's the size of his torso, and he's doing it, and my mother-in-law is like wilding out in the background, and it's like, you can have a good time having kids at your wedding, but 100%. If you are choosing not to do that, then as the guests, they have to respect that. And otherwise, it's going to be like, even for the kids, it'll be boring because it's not made for the kids, right? That's being slapped with your generation as like, you're a Gen Alpha kid and you're like, Roblox, not here. Why? And then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like also too, I think it really too, it's gotten a lot worse because people will just give their kid an iPad or a cell phone, and that's and that occupies the kid. You're like, yeah, that's not healthy. That's not good for you.
I think a lot of people have realized that it was a bad idea, and a lot of the iPad kids were your fault, not you.
Oh, 100%.
Like, it's the Gen X parents with the Zoomer kids. That is how that happened, and I think millennial parents kind of realize that, and there's still like some millennial parents who do it, unfortunately, but a lot of them are like, we should not do that. Uh,
there's no question that it is easier in the short term to run your household that way. However, it is 100% proven that you're basically creating crack babies. Like that's what you're doing. Like it's just different. It's a socially acceptable crack baby, which that's not a claim to fame. You're like, all my kids are crack babies, but only for their iPad. It's fine. No, it's not fine. It's not fine for anyone who's going to have to interact with them ever in their life is going to going, oh, you're a crack baby, aren't you? And you're like, no, I just had an iPad.
The reason, like, Gen X is often associated with being sort of like apathetic, and that very much like lines up with the I don't want to do it here, you iPad, so I can clean the house or whatever.
Correct.
So that fits, I think. The millennials' problems is that we're fucking dorky. We're a dorky generation, right? Stop, clap, hey, right?
I mean,
craft beer, mustache tattoo on the finger. Like, yeah, we're a very dorky generation.
I'll be honest with you. Every person, whoever has been like, I've been like, love it. Just it's the mustache on the finger. I find it's mostly women.
But the tattoo, come on, guys. Like,
hey, I'll be honest with you. It's most often been women who have looked at me and went with a mustache thing and went, and I was like, shenanigans. I love it. Like, immediately. I'm like, let's be friends. That's fine. Yeah. They were, that is the person who does not take life seriously, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah. And I realized the other day that me and my three actually brothers-in-law have some form of beard. My sister's husband recently shaved, but like for a long time he was rocking some kind of beard or mustache. He even had he bought a 70s Pontiac and restored it, and then after he finished it, he shaved down to the like 70s porno mustache.
Top tier. Then he's got to wear
fucking safe already.
Hey, he's got to wear short shorts and a tank top and just lean up against it and just be like, yeah, you're like, that's 100%.
I should have convinced him to do that. That would have been great. We took a few pictures of him like leaning on the car. Damn it, that was such a good idea.
Hey, and then like if you age it, you're like, this is this car throughout the generations. Just like I would have an entire photo shoot of like him dressed in a Victoria area with the Pontiac as well. Just be like, that's fine. I mean, listen, this is my
Wuthering Ride. This is
and also the idea. Okay, so it's funny that you would say about the whole work ethic and everything kind of stuff, because so last night, as is our tradition for Valentine's Day, we went out for fast food, and then we went and saw a horror movie, and then came home. Now, hilariously, when we went to the movie, like we went for like a late lunch at best. It was like 2:00. Great burgers. We tried a new place. They used beef tallow for the fries. It was fantastic.
Ooh, beef tallow fries.
Yeah. 100%. And even like the fries weren't actually that good, but because of the beef tallow, you're like, oh, these are great. Like it was, they weren't as crispy as I would have preferred. Yeah. And then after we went and saw a new movie called Cold Storage, it's got Liam Neeson. It's Liam Neeson and a few other people. It's got I forget what his name is. Harrington from Stranger Things, the guy with the hair.
I think so. Yeah.
He's in it, does a great job. But one of the things he says is about how like this is a shit job, but it's my job and I'm gonna do it right. And you're kind of going, I respect that. Hey, you can have pride in everything you do, everything, because it's what you're choosing to do. That's all. Hey, I'm paid to do this job. I'm gonna do it with the best of my ability. There's zero negative effect of that principle in your life. It's a hard thing to do.
Exactly what my job entails, and I'm going to go home and live my life, and that's perfectly
absolutely 100%. Hey, that boundary is very important. I think it's very to say, oh no, I'm here. I'm all work. Like Victoria and I got into this discussion about how she's like, oh, we had such a busy day. I'm like, no, you didn't. You have no idea what a busy day is. When like that's the thing is I'm like, I've had days where I didn't have a client interaction at all the whole day, and I did not have time to respond to emails. I couldn't pick up my phone. Like I was so busy with stuff, just administering stuff, because that's just how life works.
Yeah. Or even like, okay, I occasionally they'll have like those planning days where the kids aren't here, but you're supposed to be lesson planning. And you're left to your own devices, and sure you can goof off. There's no way for them, they don't care, but even just going, okay, for the next 2 weeks, I'm doing this. I'm doing, on this book or whatever, doing this thing. And that takes so much off your back, because then just every, day you go, okay, so 2 weeks out from now, I need to do this. Like you just need to do one as opposed to 14 or 10, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, weekends don't count.
But that's realistically, hey, I'm not picking up my phone for social stuff while I'm at work.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm not at work, don't call me. I'm not. And this is
my school email over the weekend.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Yeah.
It's one of those things where there is nothing wrong with having that boundary, but it's important that you hold up the principles of that boundary where you're like, no, I'm working. Don't bother me. Like I remember even when I was working like physical labor stuff and people were like, hey, can I call you? I'm like, no, I'm working. And they're like, oh, can you take a break? And I'm like, I'm working. Fuck off. Right. And people get really angry.
Me or call me and I'll answer when I'm able to answer.
Well, and I even like, oh, Jesus. You want to hear something really funny? Was do you know the beginning of the first Hangover where Bradley Cooper is like, hey, it's me, leave a message, don't text me, it's gay? When he said that, all of my friends leaned over and looked at me and I'm like, what? They're like, that's exactly something you would say, because it was a different time. And I'm like, yeah, it's 100% true. Because I'd be like, yeah, don't text me, it's gay.
Yeah.
Bro, I got my first text message and I couldn't respond to it because my phone didn't have text abilities. Do you understand that?
That's
like,
so funny. Yeah.
Hey, I was like, how? What is happening? Right? I got a text message from my friend, but I can't. It didn't let me respond. I could just see it, and I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, I don't. This is from the future.
So your phone basically is just a pager then?
No, it was a cell phone, but it was just a weird.
Like, you get a message, but then you have to do something else to respond to it.
Oh yeah. Well, I would just call them, but yeah, it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, this is so. Just so everyone knows, the whole principle behind this was the idea behind this, and we've discussed this before, is walking through, like back in the day, if you went to a grocery store, it would be all like old people music and like just like just walking around. Okay,
like retirement bossa nova. Like this is going to be played as you shuffle off into the afterlife.
And it was horrible. And now when you go to a grocery store, at least for myself, I'll start hearing songs that I used to hear at clubs. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Damn it, I'm old. Because that's how that works.
The worst feeling is, so like, let's say I'm shopping for pads because I have a wife. And also I buy pads for my classroom because some, kids need them sometimes. There is something so surreal about like, I don't know how pads work. Thin, sporty, wings. I don't know what the fuck it all means, but I'm standing there and I start hearing, ain't it fun? Living and I'm like, I don't need to hear this. I don't need to hear the fact that I love this song. And also I'm shopping for something that is not for me and that I don't understand.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Hey, this is one of those things where so to be very clear with everyone, okay? Your generation is like, well, I'm doing the shopping. This is needed. I go buy it. No, I don't buy pads. I don't buy any of that stuff. You know why? That is not a me problem. In the same sense, hey, I have this heavy thing to lift. I'll be like, no, ask my wife. No, that's my job. That's the thing that I do. Mm-hmm. You have a thing that you do. Go take care of it. Be responsible.
It's not the only thing I'm getting. Like it's always like I'm getting this plus produce or whatever the fuck I'm getting. But
hey, it's gross. Whatever. I don't have to deal with it. I'm a man. I'm lucky and I'm happy to be a man.
And there's the difference between our two generations, right? Between get it yourself and like, sure, why not, right?
Oh no. Hey, I will carry my wife in my arms for her to go buy it because for whatever reason, okay? I'm just not touching it. It's gross. You're dirty. Get out of town for 7 days, okay? Just go. Scoot.
Like, are you carrying her like you know?
Yeah,
like you would carry a bride, or is she like a piggyback, or what's the play here?
Dealer's choice, sir. Dealer's choice. But I'm sorry. You're dirty for 7 days. Go on, get. Okay, just that's a you problem. It's the same thing. Hey, I've had multiple women give the excuse, so they acted aggressively, and I looked at them like, "Are you okay?" They're like, "Sorry, I'm on my period." I'm like, "That's not an excuse because if I have a bad day, I don't get to react that way, do I?" And they're like, "Well, that's different." I'm like, "No, it's not. Handle your shit. Zero patience."
I don't know.
And I'll die on that hill and I'll murder on that hill. Let's be very clear.
That's not a hill I want to die on because I will get impaled on a bloody pike very quickly.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. It's probably my pike. I'll just let you know. I'm the one who's impaling people on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but there's the thing is, that's a huge generational difference where I'm like, no, that's look, I would never, back in the day, would never be like, hey, can you go buy condoms? No, that would be my job. Why? It's my wiener. It's my wiener. I'll take care of business. It's not
when I was in college, my roommate, my first year, he was like this Middle Eastern guy, and he would have me buy condoms for him. Oh, and he would pay me to buy condoms, so of course I'm not going to say no.
Of course not.
But it was just the sort of thing like, this is not embarrassing at all. The person doesn't care. You're getting laid. What's the problem with that? He was also one of these people who the first day he's like, hey, so I'm going to be bringing home a lot of girls. And he brought home one girl and they were together the entire year. So good for him, I guess. I'm not really sure if he is still with that girl, but there were nights where like I had, met someone at the time. So there were nights where it was the four of us in a dorm room. Just hanging out.
Hot Wang says, what? That's fine. That's very reasonable.
But yeah, so this sort of thing where it's like, it's his wiener and I'm buying the condoms for him, but also he would give me $20 per. And when you're in college, you're like, fuck yeah, $20. So
hey, you started Uber before Uber was Uber. Good for you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's totally reasonable. That's just so you understand, okay? Remember, I live in a world with very different principles, right? So like me and my at the time was my best friend. I was his best man, he was my best man. And on the way to the church to get married, we stopped in at a grocery store and we bought condoms, right? So we did that for his wedding. He came with me to go buy condoms for my wedding. Why? Because we saved ourselves for marriage. Like it was a much bigger deal other than Slutty McGee over here who's knocking up whatever he can. He's just like, throughout college, right? We had morals. These very outdated. I know. I'm aware. It's from an ancient time where we would, do crazy things. Yeah. It was. Hey, it was different. It was a very different time of life.
About your daughter marrying my husband. Yeah.
You see on that bingo card, Atlas talks about a let me see here. Somewhat musical. There's got like 4 of them about musical right on here. That's fine. Yeah.
Well, there's just one. There's just the one of them, but let's see.
I was 2 fat people now. Someone's internet goes out.
Okay, wait, we got
millennials mentioned. I mean, yeah, we're pretty.
We got me singing. Boomers mentioned. Someone mentions their spouse by name. Someone mentions their parents. Smoking mentioned.
Hey. Yeah. I think we got diagonal.
I think so.
Yeah. I think so.
We go off topic. Yeah. Dino calls himself a giant. Yeah. So many stuff today.
Just standard. It's just standard stuff, people. I don't know. It's a weird thing getting smacked in the face with your age, but at the same time, I can't I like that there are the newest generation, whatever they want to call them. They call themselves zippity doodah. I don't really care, but they
Gen
are.
Alpha are like the kids who are in elementary, middle school right now, and Gen Beta was just born this year, technically. But as we've established on this show, generations are a spectrum, so it's a bit of a like.
All
gray.
I see is Generation Potato. I'm like, whatever, you guys.
It won't be
But they're-
forever. Yeah.
I mean, well, they're starting to embrace principles because on merit, as opposed to what they're told, right? Like having pride in what you do is a good thing in life, right? And I'm not saying that you have to make it. You're like, people make their job their entire identity. You're bad. You're a bad person. You're not being a good human, right? People make one thing their entire identity, like, you know, whatever it may be. It's not good. You have to round yourself out. And that's why having boundaries, having principles, and all these kind of things are good things in the long run. They make your daily life hard 100% of the time. Doesn't make it wrong, though. Right. Yeah. And that's the weird part. And then someone plays a song that you used to get drunk to and dance to, which is a sight to see. Yeah. And it's in the grocery store, so you're like buying chips, oh yeah, and eggs, and it doesn't work.
Or like I saw this TikTok where it's a lady who she has a toddler and she's playing like rap songs from the 2000s about just like parenting. So she's like handing them the kid their shoes and it's, you can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Hey, like.
Yeah. Hey, trust me, there's exciting things to be had, but you got to put in the work. It's fair. It's very reasonable.
Well, just a quick announcement before we head out here. We are going on a small hiatus. There will not be a show recorded on February 22nd or March 1st, which means the next time we're recording is March 8th, and that is with Elle Font as the guest.
Yes.
So we'll see you on the other side of the war. There's another one. And don't worry, we're not like done forever. We're just like we weren't available to record. So just that's how it is.
We're doing business. Okay. Just calm down, everyone.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for watching or listening. Tell your friends, leave a like, leave a comment. When did you get slapped with your generation? Let us know below. Follow us at Generation Dan. Wherever fine social medias are found, follow me at Atlas Novak and all those same places. I recently did a video of why we build the wall from Hadestown, and one of the guys who plays Hades from Hadestown liked it and put it on his story. So yay. That was pretty fucking cool. You can also check out my other show, Nexus at Night, which is on YouTube every Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific. That's about the trading card game Cardfight Vanguard. If that's not your thing, fuck you. And you, sir.
I'm Dina the Genetic Marvel. I am currently doing things. It is coming up to Chinese New Year, so it's going to get weird over the next couple of days, but I am building some stuff. Those videos are going to come out soon, and I'm getting back to Lego. So come check out my channel, like, subscribe. I'm at 2,461 subscribers. It's going pretty good. So contribute, like, comment, interact with me, love me, shower me with kisses, whatever you have to do, but just know that it's for a good purpose. So in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, everyone, as will I, and we'll see you very soon.
All right. See you in 2 weeks.